So when are we starting?
Any point.
Any point?
From now until
From
like
now.
when we end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we end.
Like we can do it right now.
Right
but, like,
now.
well, let's just find the conversation.
Yeah.
Let's find the flow.
groove. Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew.
I feel it.
You're here.
I'm here.
You came out.
Finally.
Finally.
It's been a long time in the works.
Since you've been here?
No, trying to get me on.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's been about like 3 months or so.
I think the first time you called me to ask me to be on, I was asleep.
It was not 3 months ago. Why did I just say that? Was
I
it
think, well, you only had, when did your first episode come out?
like a month ago.
I think you only had
months
2
ago.
episodes out at the time.
Gotcha.
When I looked at your show.
Yeah. And that second episode was rough. No offense to Ferris. That was all me though. Like that was a bad time.
And then I think you had your brother on because
Yes.
I wasn't able to make it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
And
right.
when you called me, you woke me up from like a sleep of death.
Oh,
I woke
really?
up like an old man, like just
like
the whole
slow
old man
coughing,
wake up.
hacking
Yeah.
up like chunks of lung.
What's happening?
Yeah. I've had that a couple of times in my life.
Yeah.
Guys, is it ready?
Yeah,
Are we ready? For
I think
this?
so.
I think
We-
so.
yeah, we can-
Guys, welcome. Wait, what was that?
Welcome.
Guys, welcome to the No Messarge Show. Today's guest is Matthew Fisher of the Fisher Clan. Amish?
Potentially. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about Amish.
Well, I'm pretty separated from that.
But like,
like,
you have the blood. Like
Yeah,
it's in
like,
it's in your genes.
If you could be ethnically Amish, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not. It doesn't work like that. You have to.
Well,
Does it?
kind of. I mean,
How can I join the
There-
Amish church? Is what I'm asking.
I think you can just join.
Do I have to like wear the clothes and like
yeah.
the straw
yeah,
hat?
They're pretty serious
What's
about
with the
that.
half beard though?
No idea. No idea.
Is that like a religious thing, or they just can't grow like mustache?
There's probably some stipulation about they can't have it a certain way. I don't know. They have rules about a lot of things.
Interesting.
Because they have to try and be different from the world, so they're not worldly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but they also scam people.
Scam people?
Yeah,
Where have you heard that?
I've experienced it.
You've
firsthand.
experienced it. How are you getting scammed by Amish?
Well, look, it's a long story, but I okay. That was a misuse of that term. I will fully acknowledge.
Okay.
I was never scammed, but I've experienced their shenanigans firsthand.
Well, it's hard to run a scam when you can't use a computer.
Yeah.
Would be my assumption.
Well, actually, that's the thing. I know certain Amish people, and they're not Mennonite, they're Amish, that have secret like phones.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No,
and
definitely.
like what's up with that?
I mean, why wouldn't you have a phone? They're awesome.
That's right. But like I don't know. The Amish for me, it's like why though? Like that's
Why?
my whole thing. Why
It's tradition. It's
Yeah.
they just kind of, their whole thing was like, we're not going to change the way we are. And then eventually technology started getting away from them. So
Yeah.
they're still in like, an
They're still in, like,
1800s mindset. Yeah.
yeah.
But it's, it's ever present. So that stuff seeps in, There's only so much avoiding modernity that's possible. So that's why most of them have phones, electric scooters, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know like the Amish in Lancaster, which is where I'm hail from, they're a lot more lax, I think, than like the ones out in Indiana. And there's like degrees of like severity, I guess. So like,
What's the worst state to be Amish in?
I don't know. Indiana, like the things I hear about the Indiana Amish is like they're like bum country Amish. That's just what I've heard. I don't have much firsthand experience with that.
Where do you get this information? Is there like
Just
an Amish
around.
newsletter I can subscribe to?
Well, so the subreddit, there is a subreddit for Amish. It's called r/Amish. If you go on it, there's nothing there. It's just
Are you
completely
serious?
empty. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. What's the deal with like Amish having like regular people? I'll use that term for like the sake of this
Right.
expedition, what have you. But like, how can they have regular people drive them around if that's a sin? Isn't that like being like?
Well, they're not owning the car. I want to
Yeah, sure.
Jack, the angle of the camera is when you're talking to me, your
Yes.
back is completely turned to the camera.
So
I don't
yeah.
know if you want to scoot
no.
it so that it's catching more of us.
Yeah.
But-
Welcome
To the vibe.
to the vibe.
Have we found it?
No.
To be determined.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Will we readjust the camera angle again?
Maybe.
Possibly.
Who knows?
All right.
It could go anywhere.
Possibly. Guys, this is Matthew Fisher.
Hello.
He's my guest today.
I am a guest.
What the hell?
Is that a dog?
It is a dog. We haven't found the vibe yet.
Interrupted.
I'm
yeah.
so sorry.
The dogs keep chasing the vibe away.
Guys, this is the Noah Messarge show. Welcome everybody, one and all. Here's our guest, Matthew Fisher. We got him finally. I know you guys been asking for this guest, and he's finally here.
I've been asking for this guest.
Yeah. Matthew, tell me about how to make chili.
Chili. Well, I've only made chili maybe once or twice, and it's pretty easy. Kind of just put some ground beef in there, pre-made packet of chili seasoning, some beans.
Is that McCormick?
Yeah, McCormick's.
Yeah, McCormick's so good.
It's
dude.
good. It's good. There's probably a lot of chili purists who are like, you
Yeah.
have to have your own special blend, but I'm not that sophisticated. And then I like my chili with rice, so I don't know if that's, I think there's different styles of chili.
You
but
put like the rice on the bottom of the bowl and then add chili?
Yeah.
Or,
yeah.
Okay.
A little more of a carrier.
Yeah.
So
Like
that's how I have my chili, with some cheddar grated on top.
Cheddar. Yeah.
Sour cream.
What about like corn chips? Do you like crack
No, I don't really do corn chips with my white chicken chili. Yes, I'll do corn chips.
white
with.
chicken chili?
Yeah.
I've never had that before.
You've never had that?
Is it
It's
just like
basically chicken and like green peppers maybe. I actually don't know what's in white chicken chili, but it's a different flavor profile. But yeah, I'll have corn chips with that.
Interesting.
So.
I feel like I'm sweating.
Oh, you are a little bit. It is
A little
hot
bit.
out here.
It is hot, guys. We're in Virginia, middle of summer. It's killer. Is it middle of summer?
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah. Well, yeah, July. I
Pretty
think that's
much.
officially.
I think that's officially, guys.
middle
We're
of summer.
officially in summer
Yeah.
right now. So like,
it has been hot.
it's gonna get sweaty. All right, that's what I'm saying.
I work outside for most of the day,
You
so
do.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been bad lately. I've been running outside too, so
Oh,
that
really?
kind of increases my tolerance a little bit.
How long do you like run for? What's like the average?
I have just gotten into it,
Okay.
so I'm trying to work up to
Are you trying to become healthy? Why?
maybe. Well, I kind of want to stick around, see how bad things get.
That's a good reason. That's a good reason. I stopped worrying about my health, and like I've said before, I'm like a hypochondriac.
Mhm.
I thought I had diabetes for like 3
Right.
months.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I have blood clots in my leg.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm just kind of like, whenever
Yeah.
I drop dead will be that time. Like, I'm just like, I fully accepted
Right.
that's going to happen.
Just for me, I
Yeah.
notice just a difference in how I feel.
Yeah.
If I'm looking after myself a little bit more. And having also been sick, being sick sucks. So
Yeah.
like anything I can do to prevent that in my old age, I want to try at least.
What's the worst illness you've ever had?
Worst illness I've ever. COVID was really bad.
Yeah.
COVID was rough.
What do you
I
think
thought
about-
I was dying.
Sorry.
When I got there's mosquitoes out here. When I got my positive test, I already been feeling like pretty bad, like kind of like the flu, because I had that once before. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna run a hot bath and just chill out, take a bath. So I ran a steaming hot bath. I was sitting in it, freezing cold, just shaking, shivering. I could see the steam coming off the
Yeah.
water, but I felt like I was in ice cold water. It was terrible. And then it was just the next, because I quarantined for 10 days. I didn't go back to work for 10 days because that's what they were recommending at the time. Just miserable. I got better in like maybe 5, but then so it was like another 5 days of just being bored and feeling slightly ill. But those 5 days where I was really sick was bad.
Interesting.
So did you ever get it?
I had COVID, but like I didn't realize. Like
Really?
I did. I don't think I did not test positive. I didn't take the test, but I was like, this is it. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm definitely. I feel it
Yeah.
in me, but I already had the shot at that point, and I was
Mhm.
like, it wasn't that bad. Honestly, I didn't get it that bad.
Some
but,
people it just didn't bother.
Yeah, which is interesting.
I was not one of those lucky people.
Yeah.
It wrecked me. It was
Interesting.
terrible.
So you're like, in a sense, your immune system is more compromised than mine.
Well,
Or is
or
that's not really.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. how
I'm
that
sorry.
works.
I'm not. We shouldn't bring up medical like.
We're not doctors.
Yeah, we're not doctors here, obviously.
No. But that's probably the worst sickness I've experienced.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because
So like, if you're steaming, in like hot water and you feel like you're freezing.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
That's like things have gone wrong. Like
Yeah.
my perception of reality is altered to the point where I can't feel temperature correctly. So
Yeah. Did you get like brain fog afterwards?
Yeah.
Big brain fog. Frog.
for a while too, just like not feeling
Yeah.
up to snuff. So, I mean, they say they throw around that term long COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It's boring talking about COVID. Let's talk about something.
It
else.
is, yeah. Stop. Did you experience hair loss from COVID?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I-
not permanent. Just-
I'm like mid male pattern baldness right now, and I'm just like, I look like a dad. I look like my father. Like I see my dad sometimes, and I'm like, I look like you. Like not only like just in the face, but just like everything
Yeah.
about my stomach,
Yeah.
the fat, the just the frown, the Polish frown.
Is those Polish and Italian genes pulling some heavy weight?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's do your older brothers, are they losing
Yeah,
it, lost it?
Everybody looks like my dad right
Yeah.
now. Even my sister. Like, tell me how that works.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't look like my dad, really. But like, maybe just like slightly,
Right.
just like 3%.
Yeah. The hair specifically is what I was asking.
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
It's like all my uncles on my mom's side, because I don't have uncles on my dad's side. They're all, good. The hair's gone.
Yeah.
But on my dad's side, like my grandpa had a full head of hair when he died. So I don't know which genes.
They say it's the mother's.
Yeah,
father,
but
right? But that's not. That's not
I don't
true.
know. I don't know. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed it's not
Yeah.
the case.
How would you feel though if you had to go bald, like when you're 30?
I mean,
and, like
I just take it as it comes.
let it go.
Yeah.
Can you grow like facial hair?
Well, so I do have eventual facial hair genetics. I
Okay.
can kind of grow a little bit of
Yeah.
like around
But
here.
still like in the process.
Yeah, still in the process, but it gets there.
Yeah.
It gets there eventually.
Interesting.
So
Interesting. So you have that to look forward
yeah,
to.
just bald on top, hair on the face.
Tom Segura face.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Well, that's good. Matthew,
Yeah.
now I think it's an appropriate time to ask you, why are you still in Farmville?
Why am I still in Farmville?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't in Farmville for a while. Now I'm back in Farmville.
How does that happen? How do you...
I got kicked out of my house.
Oh, you did?
Well, sort of. My brother was looking to buy a place,
Mhm.
and so he switched our lease to month, and our landlord had been cutting us a pretty sweet deal up in Lynchburg, so we were, paying less than what he could be getting for the place.
Yeah.
So he found other tenants and was like, "You got to be out by July." So he found a place, but it's much smaller than where we were before. So
he kicked
I
you
couldn't.
out,
Yeah.
essentially.
He offered for me to live there, but
that's
it would have
nice.
been tight because it was like maybe a couple could do it, but yeah, it was pretty small place.
How many square feet are we talking about?
I don't know off the top of my head,
Okay.
but just like half of our old apartment size. So
It's rough. One kitchen, one bath?
2 bath actually.
2 baths.
The one bathroom though is probably the smallest bathroom I've ever been in.
Really?
Yeah,
It's like
it's
a porta potty?
Like
a
I could
porta-john?
sit on the toilet and put my feet on the wall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
it's-
just like a New York apartment.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Nice.
In Farmville.
In
I mean, there's
Farmville.
plenty of room. I don't understand.
Yeah. Expand a
Yeah.
little bit, Interesting.
No, so I'm back here because I don't know where else to go. I mean, you're still in Farmville.
I am still in
Yeah.
Farmville. I have no reason to be here. I don't know why.
I don't have a reason to be here. I don't have a
Yeah.
reason to be anywhere else.
Exactly.
I'm familiar with this place.
Exactly.
I thought I would like Lynchburg. I do not like Lynchburg.
Is it like bad? I hear there's like a decent amount of crime.
Yes. Yeah. That was a pretty frequent occurrence. We would hear gunshots from our apartment. Yeah. And like just
Is there a lot of gangs in
I don't know. I
Lynchburg,
don't
or
know
is it just like
what.
drunk?
Yeah, I don't know what causes it. There was a drive-by
Okay.
recently where a kid got shot and died. That was sad. And that was like not in a bad area of town either, but yeah,
What is Jerry Falwell doing about the tragedies?
nothing. I mean, he's dead.
Oh, he is technically. What about Junior? Jerry Falwell Jr.
Oh, he's probably
He's just, like-
in a closet somewhere.
Okay, that's right. Who's in control of like LU?
I
now?
think it's another Falwell, the pastor of Thomas Road Baptist Church. I think. I don't know.
Really?
No idea.
Did-
No idea.
Okay. You didn't go to college at Liberty, did you?
No, I didn't go to.
Have you been to college yet?
I did some community college.
Okay.
And I was looking at the future,
Yeah.
my future, and just the state of student loans.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to have a crippling amount of student debt. And I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time. Still don't really. But I wasn't, willing to pay $100,000 to try and figure that out.
Yeah.
So I was looking at my other friends who were a little bit older than me who had been going to college, and their job prospects were about the same as mine. So it didn't seem like that much of a step up. So I was like, I'll just work, and I've been working ever since. So
I feel like that's the best though. Like just like working and like dealing with real life situations and gaining those experiences is a very like you get like a pocket of knowledge.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Doing those things.
I do feel like you didn't. Did you go?
Not at all.
Yeah.
I didn't. Not even community college, which I mean, I still have time. Not like it's like impossible.
No, I could go back
Like,
at any time.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just, I don't want to.
Exactly.
I've gotten so used to making money. That's the other thing. It's like I don't want to pay money to be somewhere. I want to be somewhere to make money.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No. And plus, I feel like you could always like maneuver your way into like pretty good jobs. Like you could always just like show up at the right time and be like, I've done this before, when you definitely haven't done it before, or whatever, and just like get a like nice paying job,
right?
And just kind of like learn on the job, have those experiences.
That's the other frustrating thing is you go to college to learn information about jobs, I guess, and it's kind of irrelevant information, and they just train you on the job out of college anyways. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, now a college degree hardly gets you anything. It's rough.
Yeah.
So.
It's
unless you're in like STEM, which
I
don't have quite the gumption for that.
There's like a couple of like things like psychiatry, and like medical stuff, but just like if you're going to college, you better make sure it's like a high-paying job.
Right, yeah.
You don't want to go to college for arts.
No, you want that return on investment.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's still something you can figure out on your own.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't have to go to college for the arts. If you're, motivated, you can actually figure that out for yourself.
Exactly.
Because that's something that
there's so much knowledge.
Speaks for itself. Like your capabilities are what determine your higher ability.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Matthew, tell me a little bit. This chair is like sticky. I don't know if it's like my back
It's
sweat.
just kind of humid out here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Tell me about like early childhood experiences. Like,
oh man,
what experiences do you like remember specifically that like affects
my now?
Yeah.
I don't remember too much from like when I was younger, just like little snippets.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever did this as a kid, because this is something I was thinking about recently. Is like one time I would have been maybe under 6, because it was at the house I was first lived at. But I was sitting in my room that I was in at that house and looking at like a shelf that we had, and I maybe just been introduced to the concept of memory and like remembering and forgetting stuff like that. And I was like, I'm going to remember this forever.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember it. So
well, there you go. You accomplished your one goal when you were too bad you didn't set your mind on something like more like I'm going to invest in Apple stocks.
Right.
And then
But did you ever do that as a kid?
It's kind of interesting, but like I woke up one morning and I've been in the same conscious stream of memories since that morning.
Then? Yeah.
Like, and I kind of like I remember like pretty much. The thing is, like, I remember so much of my childhood. It just was so boring. That's the thing. Like, that's the one thing that sucks. If I had a more interesting like childhood experience, I would, probably benefit from that. But it was so like I just remember days.
Yeah.
That I just fucking just like looked at a wall. Just like,
well, you were homeschooled too, right?
Yeah.
That really
that fucks you up a little bit.
Well, you're not. There's not much of a routine. Well, there is some routine, but there's not much that kind of challenges you from the outside, I guess. So there's not. You don't get as much variety as you would if you were in the public school system.
And like being with other people your age, constantly like having like a scheduled like learning program important.
I do kind of think that the public school system probably stifles a lot of like creativity and individuality.
For sure.
But there are other aspects to it. Like, I think I didn't really get super socialized till I was older.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of awkward coming up. you
Yeah,
know.
that's
Yeah.
just like want to forget about those memories.
Just I think there's a lot of intentional suppression of memory.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's important.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that you can thank your brain for. It's just
Yeah.
like, and like I'm thinking about them. Oh God.
Don't want to resurface
Oh, they're
anything.
so bad.
Yeah.
Like, have you been to therapy for that? Or
Not yet. I've thought about it.
I have too, and I think it would like help me kind of like just like, you know, just like make me more rounded and just like be able to accept those experiences. But I've said some like, I'm not even gonna repeat it. Like, even though that would be good comedy, I feel like it's so bad that I literally never told anybody in my life, and I just like
Just stuff you did as a kid.
no, just like when I was like 13. And
Oh,
just,
I mean,
like,
that's a kid.
yeah, but like just like
You don't know anything when you're 13.
that's
You're
what they
just a
say.
ball of hormones and sweat.
Yeah, that's what they say. But at 13, I was like, this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
And I haven't been wrong since.
Well, I was just. At what point did you realize that it's all downhill from here?
That's a good question.
I think I would have been maybe like 16. I was like, it's just not going to get better.
Yeah, I would say like 12. I already had a pretty
Oh, so-
bleak
yeah.
outlook for my life, and it hasn't proven me wrong quite. I mean, I have done things that like have made me like feel better and like help me with
Yeah.
like self-confidence, but it really, I don't know, there's like feelings still are in the closet.
Yeah.
Like if I'm alone for too long, they'll just kind of be like, hey,
Yeah.
you
Just
suck.
rear their ugly head.
Yeah.
I just have to remind myself that nobody. The amount that you think about yourself is the
Exactly.
same amount that people are thinking about themselves. And it's like the consideration you give other people is generally the same consideration they give you.
Exactly. Which
Am
is
I-
great advice.
Am I hitting that thing? Is it registering? Because
Uh,
I kind of get a little deep.
Yeah, no, you're
okay,
good.
yeah,
You're
just
good.
wanted to check in.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do you have
lost
anything?
my trail of thought.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, no, we're just like talking about childhood experiences for anybody who's still listening. No, you are. Hopefully.
No, because I
Um,
have to remind myself that because I get in my head about that.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, I've always had a little bit of social anxiety,
Mhm.
and like working and being around people helped with that.
Yeah.
But we went to New York earlier this year as a family. I'd never been before. I was like, how's this going to be? Because I get uncomfortable in large amounts of, like, large groups of people. It was great. I don't know. It was almost so many people, it, like, tipped over that, whatever that scale is
Yeah.
that registers that.
They could just like scream
I was like,
anything.
Yeah, no one
and
cares.
Nobody cares.
Everyone's just doing
Yeah.
their thing. It's just, nobody cares. And you see thousands of different faces in a given day, so no one's going to remember you.
No,
It's fascinating.
not at
It's
all.
an interesting perspective to be around that many people. It's like 8 million people stacked up on top of each other. It's crazy.
Yeah. Does it feel like claustrophobic?
I definitely wouldn't want to be there for super long,
Mm.
but it's nice to visit. It's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about Jersey? Have you been to Jersey?
Went through Jersey on a train. So, because we rode the train up.
Mhm.
Jersey kind of wigged me out a little bit.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
pretty trashy.
We were rolling through Trenton, I think it was, and they
Yeah.
had this big sign that says, like, Trenton makes, the world takes. And I was
That's
like, that's so depressed.
Yeah. Oh man, that's rough. Yeah, my nonna is from Trenton.
Okay.
She like lives in
Uh-huh.
used to live in Trenton.
She's in
That's a
Florida
whole-
now, right?
Yeah, it's a whole can of worms.
I was when you first called me, I was like, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
When I go on Noah's show, I was like, oh, I asked him about your grandma, because you used to tell me some stories about your grandma.
Yeah.
And then you got into it with your brother, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'm afraid of like getting whacked by the mafia if we bring her up. But no, like she's a lovely lady that has problems like all of us.
Yeah.
And she's older and she probably has dementia. So
Oh.
like you get a lot of things, and like at that point you can't really hate an old person. Like you can, and it's like a great feeling.
Yeah.
But like it's so good actually. I do it like at my job all the time. I'm not gonna disclose where I work, but it's so good to hate certain old people. But like my nonna, she's family, and like I believe that her intentions are good.
Yeah.
But it was a rough situation. Parents kicking her out. Like my mom, you know, her mom.
Yeah.
That was like honestly some of the most intense experiences.
That'd be hard to be around, I'm sure.
I would just like come home from like a long day at work, and I would like I wouldn't even open the door yet, and I would just hear like my nonna being like, "You fucking stupid, Jean-Ann," and I'm just like, I don't even want to go in now.
Yeah.
Like it's just gonna be a war zone,
Right.
And like there's pasta on the floor, and just like it's just a disaster on top of another disaster, and it's like a rough. It's a rough thing, like being an Italian family, but like it like is an interesting experience,
right?
Because you do get like just like straight on drama, like 100% of the time.
Well,
like,
you're much more open about your feelings culturally, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas Germans are a little more like just
we don't
kinda
totally
even keeled. We don't.
Yeah.
I think it's Bill Burr talks about the Irish German versus like Italians. He was like his friend went to an airport or something like that when he was a kid going over to Spain or something like that, and it's like there was some Italian family who was sending a kid over as well, and they're all like hugging and kissing each other, and then it's the Irish kid and his parents are like, well, have fun, we'll see you in a month, you know. Just kind of
very like
just hands off.
That's and that's like sad because like with Italian families, like when there's love in the air, we love each other. Not like that, but like we hug, and we kiss and we embrace. But when there's like hell, you know, it's like it's bad,
passionate.
Yeah, it's very passionate and great food, like great, just like delicious. Like all my entire life, I've just had some of the most like remarkable meals at my house, and I do appreciate that. There's something about like food that brings people together. Yeah. Less so with Irish and their potatoes, but like
well, German food's not really anything to write home about. I really like it, but that's just I'm a German, so it's like I gotta have loyalty for the home team. But I love Italian food.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's the gravy, man. It's the sauce, just that marinara.
They cracked into that one. The whole like tomato, olive oil, garlic flavor profile.
Balsamic vinegar. Something
perfect.
Like it's a beautiful blend. It's like a painting. Like pasta sauce is just like it's a chaotic array of like these ingredients, but when they come together, it's just like it's like a kiss in your mouth.
Yeah.
Like
that is a good way of describing it.
It's
a
beautiful.
food painting.
Yeah.
No. Pasta's great, man. Pasta is just
it's the best.
Something else.
It's the best meal ever.
I eat spaghetti like once a week.
Yeah. What kind of spaghetti?
I have to get gluten-free spaghetti, so it's probably not like up to standard, but I do my best.
Yeah. At least he didn't say like Chef Boyardee, who is a fake.
No.
Not
I get
real.
an Italian brand of gluten-free spaghetti, so I figured that's probably
that's the best you could do being a German.
Yeah.
And not being able to eat. Right pasta. Matthew, what do you think about the world today and like where we're at? Are we heading for total annihilation?
Potentially. Who knows? Things are pretty weird right now.
Yeah. When did it start?
2016.
Yeah,
pretty
much.
Yeah.
Like open
that's a
Pandora's
no-brainer.
box.
That's like all normalcy flew out the window, and then the pandemic hit. Oh no, now we're back on that.
Yeah.
But everything just went out the window in 2016. It feels like.
Yeah. But. Like even I don't know if you experienced this, but like I feel like a lot of parents or like just like older people, not even, but like my parents especially, have been just like so paranoid and just like it's just like from just constant propaganda, constant watching Tucker at night for every night for the past months, until he got fired, whatever. But like just that, I wish we could have like a brain scan of somebody who does not watch Tucker, and then like somebody who watches Tucker every night for 3 years. Like that's got to do like some like irreversible damage, right?
Oh man, yeah. Fox News is a tough one.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty much just spin doctors, and they have very specific set of talking points and ideas they want to push. I mean, I feel that's true for both sides.
CNN
this whole like one side versus the other, it's just very frustrating and doesn't get anything done.
I stopped listening to news, and what I do is just like every day I'll like sit outside somewhere and just like sit and the answers come to me, Matthew.
Yeah.
The answers will just like come into my mind. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
okay, this is what's happening.
Right,
This is how
right.
we fix it. That might sound a little crazy, but it's true. There's something that's really true about just not listening to news, and then when you hear like
Right.
a problem, you're like, well, why are they doing that? You
Yeah.
know, it's just like, I don't know.
Well, I don't think we're supposed to have such a large awareness of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, be very focused on what is around us immediately, and not things that, it's not that they don't matter, it's just that they don't matter to you because there's nothing really that you can do to change them. And like, there's nothing I can do about the war in Ukraine.
Yeah.
I can vote once every 4 years, you know, but that's ultimately not a whole lot.
No.
So I just nose down, I just try and tune that stuff out. There's part of me that really wants to get into that stuff and like really, you know, get after it and like figure out the answers and stuff like that. But I ultimately feel like that's a little bit futile because to prove who wrong, you know.
There's like, unless if you have a lot of power.
Yeah.
Unless if you have influence.
Yeah.
You're just not, you're like doing nothing.
Yeah.
You can't do anything.
Just as a regular average working Joe.
What you could do though, you could like cause a
There's stuff you can do.
There's like you can go out in a bang, but you
Uh-huh.
won't be here to see the like what happens.
Those
after.
are the scary
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are
But like that's the only way for like a normal working class Joe to get his point across and have like
yeah.
one final say. But you only have one chance at it.
Mhm. You see that Ted Kaczynski died?
No.
Yeah. You know who he is.
I know the name. Like
The
I just-
Unabomber.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
He was one of those people.
Yeah, for
Decided
sure.
to go out with a
Yeah,
bang.
yeah.
A single individual that wanted to make a splash.
Or Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
Also, he gave somebody didn't he? He got shot.
Yeah, he did get shot.
So
then.
he you know, karma's a bitch.
Well.
But that was all an inside job.
For sure,
All
for sure.
an
Yeah,
inside
we
job.
could get into that, but that's some real.
That's a little. Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to this book, Chaos, about the Manson murders. That stuff is just insane.
Yeah.
And like the CIA had a hand in that, most likely. Just.
You think?
I think so.
Okay.
Like Manson was probably an informant.
Okay.
That's a
Well,
whole thing
yeah.
to get into, but I like that stuff. It's interesting to
It
me.
is.
It's also a string that when you start pulling on, you realize how like much a lie is fed to us and every day by the current, you know, media and stuff like that. It's just not good.
Even like the guy from the Black Panthers like got assassinated.
Yeah.
And that by that raid.
That
like,
was the FBI, I
FBI,
think.
yeah. So just like anytime you're like about to like break through and like really like start a revolution,
Anybody who was going to do anything good
is
in this
gonna get
country in like
shots.
the 70s, 60s, and 80s, just they got shot.
Yeah, it's like easy. John Lennon got shot. It's like every single person.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about gun control?
What do I think about gun control?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a highly political.
It is highly
topic.
political. I should have asked our previous guests who was here. I don't know why I didn't. But what are your thoughts on gun control?
I don't know.
I feel like it's way too easy to get a weapon. Like I
Yeah,
could
I think
easily
that's probably-
I can get a weapon, and I do own a shotgun, but I haven't used it in like maybe 4 years.
Right.
Like, and I'm not a hunter, so I just like I own a gun that I'm not going to use. But like at that point, why do I even have a gun?
Right.
Like,
Oh, in case the government. No.
in case the government.
So we can
man.
rise up.
Yeah.
No, I would like to own guns. I think it's an interesting hobby. I find guns fascinating. But I think they should be harder for people to get, for sure.
Yeah. How do we make that happen? Like, what stuff can we implement into society to make it harder? For
I don't know.
people?
I need to go sit out and the answers will come to me.
That's right. That's right. Man.
Yeah, because the news isn't telling me what's happening.
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah.
Have you ever shot guns?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot of
Oh, yeah.
fun.
It's
It's
very
like when you
fun.
do that, you're like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah, I feel
like-
like that should be more of like something you could like. There's buildings set up for like people
Yeah.
who need that just like
Right.
blast in the shoulder. You
Well,
can come.
I think in some European countries they have like a town armory where you store your firearms, and then you go like take them out, and you have like a certain time they have to be put back in by. So like if you're like, oh, I want to go shooting for the day, you check your guns out at the armory. I don't feel maybe 100% on that, but it's an interesting,
It's one way of like
They don't have-
tackling that, but like,
they don't have the gun violence we do. So
not at all, not at all.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a very sad.
I think unfortunately with this country, the cat's already out of the bag to some extent because.
And we like
It's-
glorify people who shoot places up. I
Yeah.
feel like a little too much.
Well, you see that Kyle Rittenhouse had a
Yeah.
mobile game, like a mobile phone game.
No, are you serious?
Yeah.
Why? When?
Because he can make money. He wasn't on the NRA circuit anymore, so he had to
Oh,
make money
God,
somewhere
yeah.
else. But oh no, what I was saying is the cat's already out of the bag to some extent because there's like 3 guns to every person in this country. Like there's probably a gun within 100 yards of us currently.
I can guarantee that for sure. Yeah, we're in Farmville, so like it's
Many.
Yeah, you can just like walk down. You can like look in the sewer, and there'll be like just an
A
AK.
gun down there.
It's like whatever. It's like bazookas in Walmart, like underneath like shelves. Just like yeah, it's pretty crazy that like, especially like Southerners, I feel like get that a lot. It's just like that gun craze. Like what is that? What kind of like mental illness is that? Just like needing to have just like
Guns. It's fun,
guns.
man.
Oh no, I agree. Like shooting guns, but like the fact that they're like something's gonna happen.
Oh.
They're like something's gonna happen.
Well, I think to some extent with Southerners,
Yeah.
there's the South will raz
yeah,
again.
yeah. Is that what they're
element.
waiting for? Am I like not a part of like that conversation at all? And just, like,
No, we're not because
Yeah.
we're Yankees technically.
that's
so everyone around us could be like, just one day,
this is one
waiting
more
for
day.
it.
Tomorrow, it's just gonna be them.
We're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.